Hello, people. I am alive. I'm not dead. I've been just busy doing things like this. For example, this is a presentation on the effects of chaos regarding sports injuries. I did it in a math class, and I figured, you know what, I might as well just put it on here too as well. So basically, what is chaos theory? So chaos theory is basically the study of complex and dynamic systems that follow simple rules but produce extremely unpredictable results. So one thing that comes out of that, for example, is the butterfly effect. And on a sports context, that basically means things like how an injury, trade, or draft pick can have drastic outcomes on the team's season and how they can completely change their season and the future too as well. So my hypothesis was that do injuries to a key player on a sports team lead to a negative team performance? This is kind of something that's been on my mind for a while, but I kind of wanted to test and see if it's kind of true. So basically what I did is I basically looked at 3 players who missed a full season in both the NHL and the NBA, and I basically looked at did the team's performance suffer or were they able to maintain the performance without the key contributor? So I looked at the season before the player was injured, the season that the player was injured, and the season that they returned to the team, and how did the team do? So I looked at Gabriel Landeskog, Nikita Kucherov, Gustav Nyquist, Klay Thompson, Zion Williamson, and Kawhi Leonard. 3 NHL players, 3 NBA players. So just right here, I just have listed is the graphs of the team performance. So the top graph is just going to be in the blue, we have the points, and then the median average points of the team that year. The median average points being the middle team in the leagues of the NHL. That would be the 16th best team. So for example, you can see up here the Colorado Avalanche, how good they did each season, and then down here is the points per game by year. The reason why I have 2 different graphs is because since COVID happened, and completely changed everything in terms of the season length. So it's not all uniform, so which is why we need to have the points per game by year. And then right here, I just have how the player did that season as well. I'll post this all. I'll put a link to it if you want to read it in depth more. But yeah, Gabriel Landeskog, Nikita Kucherov, Gustav Nyquist, the worst player on this list by far, Klay Thompson, Zion Williamson, and Kawhi Leonard. Of course, the NBA also goes off by wins and not points. The NHL goes off points as its metric to see how good everyone's doing. So that I then did a paired t-test, basically, which is like a statistical test that you can do to see if the data is actually good or not. So I tested for a difference between the 2 samples based on the points per game in the season before they got injured and the season that they were injured for the NHL, and for the NBA I did wins at a significance level of 0.1. If you're not that good at statistics, then don't worry about this. Basically, my conclusion on this test was that there was insufficient evidence to conclude that there was a difference actually in if the key contributor got injured versus not injured. But I will say that even though the data is insufficient and we cannot reject the null hypothesis, I will say that for practical reasons, based on the sample size of evidence that I have shown, that I believe that still losing a key contributor is still a massive loss for a team, right? Obviously, if you lose Nikita Kucherov or Klay Thompson on your team, it's going to be a decreased team performance. I mean, that's just a given, right? Injury equals bad. More research needs to be done in order to probably prove the correct results. But again, this is quite an inclusive study, right? I do not account for the fact that all players do not affect the team equally. Like Gustav Nyquist is not equal to Nikita Kucherov, for example. And then also age was not accounted for. Like as you get older, you get worse, unless you're LeBron James. And then management changes, things like coaching, and then also COVID, and of course personal reasons are also unaccounted for too as well. And then, so just finally in conclusion, this was just a small showing of how chaos can completely alter and change sports teams. You never know when a player's getting injured. Someone like Barkov this year in the NHL, I bet the Florida Panthers are sorely missing his presence on the team as they sit quite a bit back in the playoff spot after the break. But yeah, so many different things could have happened, if these players did or did not get injured. Yeah, it's just insane to think about. And yeah, in the future, just regarding chaos in general in sports, there's definitely a lot that needs to be done in this field, and a lot of different research that needs to happen about things like trades, draft picks, and free signing, about, how much does the chaos affect it and the randomness of it all, and what are the conclusions that we can draw from it. So yeah, that was that, and yeah, bye-bye!